Joining us now is Steve Witkoff. He joins us. Witkoff, CEO and chairman, a friend of Donald Trump. Is that correct?
That's correct, Stuart.
Personal friend of Donald Trump?
Yes, for 30 years.
Tell me, do you give him advice?
No.
You don't?
No, I say it often, friends don't lobby their friends.
Hold on a second. When you put out that tweet on that Saturday morning, I think probably 3 weeks ago, and it was a difficult tweet. Blamed President Obama and said he'd bugged the Trump Tower. Did you ever say anything to him about that? Did you ever say, Mr. President, don't do that?
Well, I only learn about the tweets from Fox News because I don't have a Twitter account. So I have to learn from your broadcast.
Okay. Now, what do you think to the premise? My argument is that investors and voters in general are ignoring all the noise that's being made out of D.C. with the Russians have done this and investigate that and who met who on the White House grounds. I say that average people are ignoring that and focusing instead on Trump is still president and still trying to grow the economy.
Pre-Trump, there was no growth platform, no growth strategy, and it's clear that that this president is pro-growth. Dodd-Frank, adding more liquidity into the system, changing the trade focus, all of it. These are all the components of growth. He's up against headwinds, which are falling demographics and falling productivity, and he's got the right answers in terms of tax reform and infrastructure spend, and most importantly, Dodd-Frank.
You're in the real estate business in
Yes.
New York City. That's what you do.
Yes.
Now, you know Donald Trump because he's in the real estate business. You've known him for 30 years.
Yes.
Is he as good as a lot of people say he is?
You know, I did a deal in London, and I was interviewed in the London Financial Times, and they said to me, how do you compare yourself to Donald Trump? This is 12 years ago, and I said, I can. He's the best developer I know. He's not just a great promoter, he's a great developer. He learned from his dad, Fred. He is a risk manager. You cannot be in the real estate business without being a risk manager who makes that cost-benefit analysis every single day as to what's important. And I believe he's making those decisions correctly.
Weren't you interviewed on another network recently? And you went on the set and you were told that it was going to be about Donald Trump, the man personally. What's he like as a negotiator? Tell me what happened when you got on the set and they asked the first question.
Well, they turned it into a Russian conversation.
About Russia?
About Russia. And of course, my answer was, Russia's a red herring. I just think it's a lot of noise and a big distraction. And why? Because Putin is the natural ally. As Donald, as a risk manager, assesses what's the biggest existential problem to the U.S., it's terrorism.
What was the response when you said, oh, it's a red herring?
Well, I think they were sort of surprised at the response. But it's a correct answer, not because I am a proxy for the president, but because Putin has the largest Muslim problem out there. Today, he's got 30 million Muslims who could be radicalized. And so he's the natural ally for us in the fight against ISIS.
Are you a billionaire?
Wow, I can't comment.
Okay. I'm sorry. I like to throw curves every now and again.
I've seen it.
I know you have. You should have been expecting it. Come on. All right, so, Steve, welcome to the show, and thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Thanks
for having me.
Come on
back, and I'll never ask you again about your personal finance.
Thanks for having me.
That's a promise.